You had to be that person to become the person you are now. Everything that you went through, all the experiences and the emotions that you have felt and embodied have made you the person that you are today. You were exactly who and how you were meant to be at the time. And we gotta accept and forgive and embrace that past version of ourselves. But we gotta ultimately let them go to truly grow and step into the highest version of ourselves. Your new life will cost you your old one. You have to be willing to let go of your old ego. The ego is your sense of identity. It's the collection of all the beliefs and ideas that you've filled to create this idea of yourself. But the ego is usually, it's made up of these materialistic, surface level things like what we have, what we own, we possess, the people that we are surrounded with, the place that we live, what we do. But these things, they're all changeable, they all come and go, and they can flip in a second. The ego is meant to be constantly changing and evolving. And when we hold on to this ego too tightly and cling to this need to conceptualize ourselves and define ourselves with the things around us, then we prevent ourselves from growing, because situations change, right? Jobs, schools, the place we live in, the friends we have, it all changes, it all comes and goes. And with that, we need to be growing, and we need to be moving through these changes and not fighting against them. So we got to be willing to let go of the idea of who we were in these old situations and be willing to step into this new version of ourselves. Change is so important, but it can also be a little bit unsettling. Like, it could be a little weird, like, damn, like, what happened to that version of me? As you know, these things are changing within and without you, and you know, things are different. You're like, wow, like, what happened to that person I was? And it's like, it could feel like you're slipping from yourself a bit, or the self that you knew. And this isn't a bad thing, it's just different, it's just new. We naturally cling to what's familiar. We cling to our familiar beliefs, our familiar habits, familiar people, places, ways of doing things, even if it doesn't truly serve us, because it feels safe. The ego gives us a sense of security, and when it starts to change, it can feel like you're slipping away from yourself, when really you're stepping into a higher version of yourself. When you are stepping into new opportunities, when you are going to new places, when you're meeting new people, it can be very scary. You'll feel nervous, you'll feel uncomfortable and unsettled, because it's not something you know, it's unfamiliar to you. But all good things, all truly exciting things are scary. If we stuck to what we knew, and what we knew was safe for us, then we would never step into so many beautiful opportunities, and we would never grow in the way that we're meant to. All living things are meant to be constantly growing. They're meant to be constantly changing, evolving, you know, going through cycles of death and rebirth and just being reborn again and again. It's all about the evolution. So change is truly something so integral to all living things, so we must really embrace it. If we just stuck to what we know, we never grow. We gotta keep putting ourselves in uncomfortable situations that force us to get out of our comfort zone, that force us to keep growing. Don't ever let yourself get too comfortable in what you're used to, because we are meant to evolve. Even though a part of you may miss and want to cling to that old version of you a bit, we gotta really be able to embrace them, accept them, and then just let them go for the better. Because that past version of ourselves, though they played that role that they were meant to, and they served us at the time, it's their time to rest, and it's our time to step into the best version of ourselves now. Use the lessons that we've learned use the experiences to create better ones now and become the best version of ourselves. We gotta move on to truly live. If we just stuck to what we knew and stuck to that old version of ourselves that, isn't truly serving us, then we never know how much more life has to offer. What we've experienced and what we're even experiencing now and what we know now is such a tiny, 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 minuscule little fraction of what there is to know and to experience. Even the most well-traveled, well-educated people, really, they know nothing. They've experienced nothing and seen nothing compared to what the universe has to offer. So there's really, we don't got time to just be trying to cling so hard to the concepts that we've been holding on to of who we are, what life is, what we're meant to be doing. We gotta be embracing the change, riding with it, riding with the ways of life, and not just that, but going after it, putting ourselves actively in positions that'll force us to have to grow and change and evolve, because that is what life is about. That is how we're going to become the best version of ourselves and how we can truly live our life to the fullest. There is so much more to life to see, to learn, and to experience. There's so much potential within ourselves that we can only tap into once we release and we let go of the comfort of our old ego and the old ideas of what we're limited to, because we are truly limitless. We are limitless beings. The only limits that are truly upon us are the ones that we instill in our minds. And our minds will often try to shrink us, and society, the programming that society has done to us, will try to shrink us down, tell us that we're limited to what we were, but we are not. So we got to embrace our potential and embrace all that we don't know, embrace all the changes that we have gone through, all the changes we're still going through, and all the changes to come our way. Welcome them. Embrace them. Embrace this new version of yourself and the version of yourself that you're stepping into, so you can continue to grow and live your life to the absolute fullest. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you gained something from it, that something here resonated with you. If it did, I would love to hear in the comments. And please hit that like button. Consider subscribing for more videos on self-improvement, self-growth, spirituality, and things like that. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.